The hosts of Bracketology are experts in nothing. They claim no advanced knowledge or profound insights. Instead, they are just three judgmental idiots who really like to bloviate their own opinions whenever given the chance. Take what they have to say with a grain of salt, or not at all. You'll probably be better off that way.
So we're starting a new bracket, and I think that this is a prime time for us to discuss one of my favorite topics of all time, ice cream. So with ice cream, you've got so many options for like customizing ice cream, right? You've got toppings, you've got mix-ins, you've got cones, right? You've got special bowls and fudges and all kinds of stuff. So,
and just ice cream flavor.
Wait, yeah, but that's not what we're talking about here. What I want to know,
okay,
first, what is your favorite like topping for an ice cream? Like from a candy or a chocolate or a like what do you put on top of your ice cream if you're getting something on top of it?
What flavor is the ice cream?
Let's just go vanilla. Let's go with the exotic.
That is a factor. It's a factor.
It is a factor, but let's say the exotic bean that is vanilla, the most exotic flavor, some may say. What goes on top of your vanilla ice cream? Vanilla's a flavor, Dan.
I know. And you know I love flicking my vanilla bean, but I have to say, if it's just like vanilla ice cream, I'm probably only going to do chocolate or a caramel sauce.
Okay. Wait, which one would you prefer though? Like if you had to pick one.
I mean, it's like a coin flip. Generally speaking, honestly, and I might get shit from you two about this, but I just like vanilla ice cream by itself. I'm not usually a toppings person.
That checks out. You seem like a plain vanilla ice cream type of person.
Well, if I get vanilla ice cream, I'm just going to eat the vanilla ice cream. But I don't really put toppings on it, nor is that my favorite ice cream flavor.
That wasn't the question.
I know.
If I'm getting so you're just saying vanilla ice cream is the key component. We build the recipe around it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm doing a brownie sundae then. I'm putting some like.
Your toppings are a whole brownie and a banana and.
No, probably no banana. No banana.
That's a banana split, first of all.
Yeah, okay. No.
That's a wildly different ice cream dish, Daniel.
Nice warm gooey brownie on the bottom, ice cream on top, little chocolate sauce, maybe some sprinkles, little whipped cream on top. Yeah, I mean, I'm going with that. That brownie is a key component.
Cherry or sans cherry?
No, definitely a cherry. Maybe three.
You have to have the cherry, dude.
Probably multiple cherries.
I love the cherries, honestly.
Yeah, we agree.
Yeah. It's a key component of the sundae experience.
I mean, I think, so for me, and this is something that could be said with or without ice cream, but cookie dough, just in general. Love me some cookie dough. But it does go really well with ice cream. However, if I'm going to do like a sauce, going back to Dan's point when he didn't give us an actual answer at any point, I actually think I would have preferred, if it's hot, I'm going hot fudge. But if it's just cold, like sauce options on top, then I'll go with caramel.
See, I like the hard shell chocolate too. Like, give me
that's good too. I agree.
Molten lava cake with the hard shell chocolate on the ice cream. Yeah, I'll take that all day.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
So, are we excluding mix-ins? Because I'll tell you my favorite type of ice cream right now.
Go for it.
Hit me with it.
So, like Cold Stone is a good place to go get this, where you get French vanilla ice cream as the base, and I get literally almost every fruit they have and get them to mix it in. So your blueberries, your strawberries, your pineapple, those little like cooked pieces of apple, just mix that shit in. Holy crap, that is good.
Yeah. I am a fan of it.
Only you could make ice cream sound so lame.
What are you talking about?
You're going there, and on that table, they have Oreos and Reese's and gummy worms and sprinkles and Snickers and Nutter Butters and marshmallows and bubble gum, all these options, and you're picking the fruit.
Yeah.
You say that with so much confidence.
Well, yeah, it is. Look, I have always preferred like fruit over like chocolate things. And that is no exception to the ice cream world. But that does not mean I don't love me some like Oreo, like, cookies and cream ice cream. That shit is amazing. But if I'm choosing, that is what I'm going to get.
I think I'll go back to it. Cookie dough is way better than cookies and cream. That'll get me some shit, I feel like.
Yeah, probably. Deservedly.
Yeah.
I
recently learned.
I'm not gonna not get in bed with cookies and cream. You know what I mean? But I want to go home to cookie dough.
I recently learned there's like a 5-gallon bucket of like Oreo infused whipped cream that you can buy on Amazon, and I'm like, I could eat that in one sitting.
It's totally fair, and also completely unsurprising. I feel like you have done that.
Somewhere in the world, that guy's going diabetes.
Hello, and welcome back to Bracketology, the podcast that definitively decides all things tournament bracket style. I am here to make your tongue happy, Scott Grubb.
I am way sweeter than Dan, Matt Robinson.
No, that's not true, because I am the sweetest co-host, Dan Default.
This week we kick off a diabetes-filled bracket for the ages as we tackle candy versus chocolate. Gentlemen, a little bit more about this bracket. How have we set this one up?
So this is a new format for us because we have two different sides. One side of the bracket is entirely chocolate-based. The other side is entirely candy-based. So we're going to have chocolate fighting chocolate until the last matchup comes around.
And then on the other side?
We have candy, and those candies will be fighting each other until the best candy comes out on top, and then that best candy will go up against the best chocolate to determine what is better scientifically, chocolate or candy.
We're going to change your movie-going experience for the rest of your life.
Now, I feel like I need to put out there, because it's come out a couple times. I'm not going to take myself out of a goddamn thing in these arguments. So be prepared for that.
Apparently Matt likes his chocolate with a little bit of salt, because we're going to start it off that way.
The funniest thing is, not a big salted chocolate person, not a big salted caramel person even.
Oh, good salted, like dark chocolate, salted caramel.
It's because Matt's already salty enough as it is. He doesn't need the additional content.
Look, sodium can hurt your heart. That's all I'm saying, folks.
I know.
No one said anything
my heart
ever.
All the time with how salty you are. We haven't even started this bracket yet.
Yeah, you preemptively salted us.
Yeah, that's because I know it's going to come up.
All right.
Where are we going first? What are we doing? Who are we talking about?
Do we want to start candy side or chocolate side? I feel like we got to do one side
each.
Yeah. Wait, what?
We got to go either all candy or all chocolate.
Oh, I disagree. I think we should do one chocolate and one candy.
Okay, I'm outvoted.
Yeah.
Well, then why don't you pick where we want to start?
Let's just start top left. Let's just go with the number 1 ranked chocolates versus the number 8 ranked chocolate.
And this one is not even fucking close.
Not even a little bit.
The fact that Kinder Eggs made the list
Can
is
we
a
say
travesty.
what it is first? Let's talk about what the matchup is. Reese's versus Kinder Eggs. I always read it as Kinder Eggs when I was a kid.
It's
And
German.
Specifically, these are Reese's cups.
No,
Well, I think we
these
can
are
include-
Reese's. Period.
We can include
Product.
all of
so
the Reese's.
the brand.
Pieces. Oh yeah, that's
Actually,
right.
on that
We
note,
did that stupid.
let's talk about Scott and I made a decision. We voted off mic. All of the candies that are on here include all of the different
Iterations.
variations
Yeah.
of those, right? So for Reese's, for example, we've got the regular cups, but we also have the mini cups, the giant cups, the shaped Reese's, etc. Jesus Christ.
The eggs. Yeah.
That's right. I'm in a hotel room by myself, and I have a 6-pack of the Reese's eggs sitting on my desk next to me. Not to give away my hand on this vote or anything, but
Well, there's a reason that Reese's is ranked number one, other than the fact that it is one of the top 3 guaranteed selling candies in the U.S. every single year. It's just good. Like they've perfected. I mean, let's be real. They have perfected the peanut butter to chocolate ratio in a lot of their instances.
especially in the shaped ones.
So this is, I know, going to be I've talked to a few people about this, and they actually have the complete opposite argument of you, Scott,
Those people are wrong.
because I've heard this argument from you, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I think they're both good equally, both
Yeah.
the shapes and the
Not
cups.
equally. I mean, they're both good. You were right there, and then you said both equally. It's not both equally. If it's a shaped Reese's cup, the peanut butter to chocolate ratio is higher, and it's so good. Either way.
Look, I'm gonna disagree with you, Scott. I like the Reese's cups better than the shapes.
Either way, they all beat the Kinder Egg.
Oh yeah.
But I do think it's important because Kinder has become a much larger staple in American culture over the last 10 years or so. Dude, Kinder eggs were outlawed when I was a kid. Like,
My
you weren't
kids
allowed
love
to
the
have
Kinder
them.
Eggs. They ask for them at the store all the time.
But I feel like they've definitely grown just in popularity quite a bit.
They're like
So
the
they-
candy corn of the chocolate world.
No,
What the fuck are
They're
you talking
disgusting.
about?
no.
They are disgusting.
They're just chocolate.
Tootsie Roll is the candy corn of the chocolate world.
Which, in its own right, I actually do enjoy a Tootsie Roll like once every 5 years.
And Tootsie Roll has like fruit variants, so you can
Which
get,
are
like,
even worse.
Nah, those are better than the original Tootsie Roll.
All right, let's get to a vote for Reese's.
I mean, we have to respect the fact that Dan was there when it was at its inception. So yeah, Reese's.
Daniel,
No, Reese's. 100%.
why are you the only one that says it wrong?
Reese's.
Thank you.
There you go.
Let's start a fight with our listeners. Who says Reese's and who says Reese's? Because if you say Reese's,
It's not Reese's Pieces.
yeah, go back to school. What's next, Dan?
Next, we have Toblerone versus Three Musketeers.
So, I mean, I feel like I have an opinion here. I think Three Musketeers kind of suck.
Oh my god.
What?
You frustrate me to no end.
Why?
Because Three Musketeers they're delicious. That
They are good.
smooth, silky nougat in the middle. Oh my god, all
Mhm.
day.
It's fully whipped nougat, and that's why it's so soft and creamy and delicate. It is absolutely delicious. I don't know.
I mean, what is Toblerone bringing to the table?
Look, anytime somebody's going to the airport, somebody's going to be like, hey, get me a Toblerone.
No,
You're traveling? Give me a Toblerone.
I've
I-
never
I've-
had anyone ask me for a Toblerone.
Yeah. I have traveled a lot in my lifetime, in my way too many years of existence, and I've never once been like, hey, give me a Toblerone. Or
You
had
couldn't-
somebody accompanying me ask me, hey, give me a Toblerone.
You couldn't pronounce Toblerone until you were 40, so you need to calm down there, okay?
And if-
Toblerone probably didn't exist until I was 40.
That's a fucking lie. It's one of the most popular chocolates in the world is Toblerone.
if we're really going to debate whether or not it's that great of a chocolate, and the only thing that we associate it with is airport candy, like, is that where our bar is?
Toblerone was invented in 1908, so I guess you were
6 years
40
old.
when it was invented.
Yeah, but it was only produced exclusively in Bern, Switzerland until like 2022.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's a Swiss chocolate. It is a
You're a
good
Swiss
chocolate. Look, I'm not like a huge Toblerone fan, but I do think that it is better than Three Musketeers, easily. I think Three Musketeers is cheap.
Whoa.
When I eat a chocolate bar, it should fill me up. A Toblerone weighs 13 pounds. I could hit you over the head with it and knock you unconscious.
It's because they make like ridiculously sized Toblerones.
Why don't they do that for Three Musketeers?
Because it doesn't need goofy
No, because
gigs.
they want you to buy
sell.
5,000 of them to fill up.
All right, first off, if you're trying to eat an entire meal out of chocolate bars, you should probably see your doctor. Second off, Three Musketeers doesn't need the shtick to sell. It sells based on the quality chocolate and that creamy nougat.
It's 3 quality principles. Nougat, chocolate, delicious.
You guys give me so much shit all the time, and then you come in and you just say something as if it's fact when it's clearly just a very subjective opinion.
What
and you
have
refuse to admit
What have
it.
you said that's a fact?
Nothing, but I'm freely open about it. You both come in like it's a known thing, but it's clearly also subjective.
I think you're projecting some feelings about being on the losing side of an argument once again.
I'm happy to lose an argument, but I'm also going to tell you, you're both hypocrites. You are shitty, shitty hypocrites, and I hope your toilet floods in the hotel tonight, Scott.
My opinion is that Three Musketeers is more deliciouser than Toblerones.
Thank you.
Dan, what's your opinion?
My opinion is Three Musketeers is also more deliciouser than Toblerone.
That's science, bitch.
That's all I need is for you to admit that you're biased.
Yeah, against you. I'm biased toward my opinion, and it happens to be against yours.
I'm going to call HR.
When did we get an HR department? That might lead to some trouble.
Kinky Hippo Productions needs an HR department. Reach out. Reach out to us. I might have to make a Kinky Hippo animation, by the way. All right, what's next, Scott?
Twix versus Milk Duds.
This is another easy one.
Oh, man, this one's hard for me.
Really?
A little bit.
I do love a Milk Dud.
I love a Milk Dud at the movies specifically. Like, my go-to movie experience is popcorn, cherry Coke, and Milk Duds.
See, here's one thing. So coming up with the bracket, we talked a little bit about it earlier that Dan and us got into an argument about if we should include variations or not. We won, and yes, variations are included. But I don't think Twix needs any variations. I do think that their original is the best.
Yep.
However, what's even better than just the original Twix bar is the
left
Twix
one.
ice cream bar.
Oh, fucking right, dude. The Twix ice cream bar is redonkulously good.
Like, I can sit there, like, I'll get a pack of 6 of them, and I can eat 2 of them a night, like, before I go to bed, and it's bad. It's like, that's how I add on.
Can you? Yes. Should you?
No. We're aware of what I should and shouldn't do. But I do love Milk Duds. I love the caramel. I love the chocolate on the outside. Like, it just, I don't know.
How do you consume your Milk Dud? Do you immediately bite into it, or do you take the chocolate
No.
off first and then go?
Yeah,
for the
no,
caramel?
I lick that. I like roll it around
Yeah.
in my mouth to get that chocolate off. Chocolate
you-
off the ball.
Do you chew it all into the caramel, or do you just like let it melt away?
No, I'll chew into it once I get like most of the like chocolate coating off.
See, I do a little bit of both. I get the chocolate coating off too. Sometimes I bite into it. Sometimes I just let it linger. You know, and let it last through that movie.
It's like a caramel jawbreaker, but soft.
Get a little popcorn in there too. Get some caramel popcorn as a go.
See, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
Milk Duds have a benefit there.
Maybe I haven't been enjoying Milk Duds the right way because I don't suckle them until they dissipate in my mouth. I don't like Milk Duds primarily because they are too chewy and get stuck to your teeth.
Not
But
when you go
clearly,
that way.
clearly I need to like gum them down like you two do.
Dan, I've offered to teach you my mouth tricks before.
Have you ever? So you know how some people will take.
HR.
You know how some people will throw like their M&Ms in their popcorn bucket at the movies? You ever done
Sure.
that with Milk Duds? Now I'm thinking about that.
No.
You talking about putting the popcorn like in? I wonder if like
I could see that.
I bet that would be pretty good actually.
Never thought of it. At first,
All
I
right.
was adverse to it because I don't want my Milk Duds to melt like that. But I mean, then you get chocolatey, caramely popcorn. I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
See, this one's not as close as you were saying.
It's still not close to me.
Or
But
not
let me
as-
ask you this, guys. If you have a bowl of Halloween candy and you're like handing it out at the end of the night on Halloween, you have leftover candies, which one are you going to have more of? Meaning, which candy was passed over more, Twix or Milk Duds?
The way that you give out Halloween candy is wildly different than the way I give out Halloween candy because I go bowl, handful, doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
I like hold the bowl and I
No.
say, get a handful.
Fuck that. No, you got to be the one to give the candy to the children.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
give
just
the
let them
candy.
come in all. Kids are sticky, bro.
Yeah.
But also to your question, imagining the scenario you laid out, fuck them kids. I don't care.
I'll just keep it all the same.
We got to talk about the candy I'm going to eat. That's the important question. When it's whatever's left over, which one am I going to eat more of or eat first?
Do you have a specific answer for that in your mind? Because I think it varies.
I'm going to eat both for sure. It's just kind of like, which one am I going to eat more expediently, I guess is kind of the question for me. And it's probably Twix. I think Milk Duds, like, they're in my head, my enjoyment scenario for Milk Duds is very specific. For Twix, it's kind of any time of day, anywhere, you know? And especially when you talk about that ice cream format, I can't ignore that. That was a solid point.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Twix ice cream I think is what puts it over the edge for me. Like, there's definitely, I do love a Milk Dud, but that Twix bar is probably going to take the win there. Dan, do you have a vote?
Yeah, it's Twix. I mean, look, I have enjoyed Milk Duds, but Scott's right. Like, it's a movie theater thing. It's a what's left over in the Halloween bowl thing. But I will actively seek out Twix. Twix for the win.
Milk Dud was Dan's nickname in high school.
And people used to suckle on him until the chocolate was gone.
Yeah, till they got to the caramel goodness.
All right, that takes us to our last chocolatey matchup for round 1, part 1. M&M's versus Whoppers. Now, I know where you're both going to land on this, I feel like.
Whoppers.
I love a Whopper. Like, I love a malted milk ball covered in chocolate.
It's because you're an old man.
Look, we'll get to it when we get to the candy side. The Whoppers, I think, are kind of timeless in just that, like, you talk about movie theater type of candy. That's that kind of movie theater candy. When you go to some, like, really loud, like, action-y, you know, a ton of stuff happening, because they are crunchy. They are, you know,
Loud.
a little loud. But that, like, you just pop one into your mouth and you keep moving forward.
I don't think old and timeless are the same thing.
However, the thing that M&M's has going for it are all of the variations of M&M's.
Which is why we shouldn't have combined them. But here we are.
Hold on. Because regular M&M's, I'll go to town on. You know what I mean? Like, I'll go down on some regular M&M's. And then...
With consent.
with consent.
The red
little
one,
mini-
the yellow one, which one are you going down on?
I mean,
Green one.
hey, depending on the night, baby. but the
He had a
like
special blue M&M. Sorry, go
peanut
ahead.
M&Ms are not my favorite M&Ms.
Peanut M&Ms?
Yeah, peanut M&Ms are not my go-tos. I know that for a lot of people they are, but I don't know what it is. Just the big nut in the middle. Dan enjoys getting to that nut, but I'm not a huge fan. What I will say though is the pretzel M&Ms, the crunchy M&Ms, the caramel M&Ms. Man, those fucking they slap, as the children say.
I would actually prefer Whoppers over Milk Duds any day of the week. Like, Whoppers are better than Milk Duds to me. But unfortunately, that's not the matchup they got. They got stuck with, M&Ms. And it's going to be hard to beat the army of different flavors that M&M's brings to the table.
Now there are some not so great flavors of M&Ms as well. I think that's important to talk about that. There's a peanut butter and jelly M&M, which is okay. I tried it. Some of the like seasonal offerings, like the coffee
Pumpkin spice
M&Ms.
M&M.
Yeah, the pumpkin spice M&M. Like if I want pumpkin spice, there are way better ways that I'm going to get it than an M&M. You know what I mean?
Enema.
Yeah. Coffee enemas are a thing, by the way, and it's terrifying. So I think that is like a downside for M&Ms. Really, is
it though?
There are some not so great flavors, but it still beats out Whoppers.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you'd be hard pressed to find a candy that you could put up against Whoppers where Whoppers wouldn't lose for me.
Candy corn.
Okay, chocolate. Let's rephrase my. There's not many chocolates you could put up against Whoppers that would
100% cocoa powder.
Give me a
Cadbury
spoonful.
eggs.
No, still, yeah, no.
Did you ever
it's
see the
M&Ms.
video of the kid who wants like a spoonful of cocoa powder, like 100% cacao, and the mom's like, "All right, you're gonna hate it. Don't know what to tell you." And then she gives him a spoonful, and he puts it in his mouth, and he's like, "Ha!" And then immediately is like,
Immediate regret.
"This is bad," and starts coughing. Anyway. So M&Ms. Daniel, do
I
you
do
have an
love me a
official vote?
peanut M&M.
M&M.
M&Ms for Dan as
Voice
well.
of Peanut M&M, fan of the show, J.K. Simmons. Thanks for listening, J.K.
All right, can I make a suggestion that we go bottom right
Why?
now?
That's what I said, and you outvoted. Wait, bottom right. Why?
Because I want to save the other division for later.
Okay.
Sure, I don't care.
All right. So that takes us then into the candy side of things. Dan, what's going to be our first matchup?
The ever famous gummy bears, the Haribo Gold gummy bears to be specific, versus Pez.
So, is it pronounced Haribo or Haribo? Haribo?
I
I've
don't.
always
I don't know why we went so specific and didn't just say gummy bears.
Well, because there's a lot, right? There are a lot of options there.
I guess it's fair. We did go brands for everything else.
Yeah. I do love a gummy bear, but honestly, Haribo? How did you pronounce it?
Haribo.
Haribo Gold, not my go-to gummy bear, if I'm being perfectly honest. But I also...
It is Haribo, though.
Haribo.
Haribo.
Those are two wildly different pronunciations. Haribo.
Yeah.
Haribo.
I mean, again, we're taking into consideration all the variations, right? Like sour flavors and wild berry and, the huge variety of flavors. Cola flavored, peaches, cherries.
Do they have a cinnamon flavor?
Are you talking about Pez?
Berries.
No.
Ginger lemon, bears. Fruit salad.
Fruit salad?
Yeah, that's one of the
just all the fruit.
They're the ones that are kind of like sugar coated and they look more like the fruit shapes.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see a cinnamon flavor one.
That's kind of what I was going to get at, was that my favorite gummy bears are the cinnamon flavored gummy bears. I love cinnamon candy though. So I know I'm unique in that. Whereas I have a surprisingly large amount of nostalgia for Pez.
The candy, or because to me the strongest thing that Pez has are the dispensers. It doesn't have anything to do with their poo poo candy. It's the cool
I mean,
dispensers that you can get.
I don't think like I'm not that. I don't think it's right to call it poo poo candy. I think that they're fun. They're like little pills. You get to chew on. They're kind of chalky, which is kind of fun to coat your mouth with sugar. And I think the flavors are decent.
I think the experience is part of it too, though. I mean, granted, Milk Duds didn't win; it didn't make it through. But like we talked about that movie going and pairing it with popcorn experience. Popcorn's not inherently part of Milk Duds, but like it's a good combination, and that experience is strong with Pez. Like, shoot, I mean, when I went to I went a couple weeks ago on a work trip to Orlando, got to spend a little time around Disney World. I came back with Mickey and Minnie Pez dispensers for my kids. Like it's a
mixture of collectible and candy at the same time.
Yeah, it's toy and candy. It was the inspiration for eBay. I think that experience counts for something.
I don't know. Like I said, I have a lot of nostalgia for Pez. I think this might be one where I'm just going to throw out my first underdog vote for Pez.
Dan,
and not because the gummy bears aren't good. I love gummy bears, but Haribo Gold Bears specifically, not going to be my go-to for a gummy bear. So I'm going to go Pez.
Dan?
Yeah, no way Pez wins this. I get the fact that the toys, like the dispensers, are fun, and I mean, God, like literally any IP that is kid friendly has been made into a Pez dispenser. But the candy isn't good. I mean, realistically, answer me this, fellas. When was the last time that you went to a store and actively searched out, bought, and ate Pez for the candy? You didn't see a Pez dispenser that you thought was cute or that your kids would like. You went looking for the candy itself to buy.
I don't know.
I have it's been a long time, Tan.
Exactly.
But the same could be said for Haribo Gold Bears.
No, gummy bears.
Well, you can't ask me when the last time I did something was, and then when I was like, yeah, it's the same for the gummy bears, you're like, no. Dickhead.
Yeah, my vote's for gummy bears.
All right, Scott.
I feel like if we're including all the different variations of M&Ms, we should be able to include all the different variations of gummy bears.
Yeah, we are.
No,
and we're also including all the variations of Pez, like Star Wars and Super Mario and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers and My Little Pony and superheroes, and all the reasons why Pez definitely wins this matchup.
Oh, God.
That experience it's part of the enjoyment of the candy. Is Pez going to win this side of the bracket?
How fucking funny would it be if it did, though?
You make a solid point that it's not a candy I'm going to seek out to eat specifically, but if there's one laying around, am I going to say no? Absolutely not. And am I going to have fun pretending I'm a vampire biting it out of Sonic's neck? Absolutely I am. And that's part of the experience. Pez moves on.
We role play Pez very, very differently.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'm imagining it being like a fucking pill dispenser, and you're like, vampire. Ha!
All right, well, Scott imagines murder, and Matt, you imagine opioid dependency. So, good job voting Pez over a staple of candy, gummy bears. It is the candy that is in the image fighting the chocolate. You guys are both wrong. I'm going to be Matt and be salty right now. Because fuck both of you for being this fucking wrong.
Our next matchup.
Now, hold on. Before
No. There's a point here. There's a point here. I promise. It leads to something. Our next matchup. Lifesavers versus Smarties. You want to get so upset about gummy bears? If we're talking gummies, I'm picking Lifesaver gummies over gummy bears every fucking day of the week. So gummy bears aren't even the best in their own category.
Look, gummy is yummy. The only time that I'm picking a gummy bear over Lifesaver gummies is if it's a cinnamon bear. And that's only because Lifesavers doesn't do cinnamon gummies.
There you go.
But the texture of a Lifesavers gummy is tremendous.
The flavor, so much more pronounced.
The flavor is much, it's almost more like dense in a way. But I just want to throw out there, Pez, I'm going backwards a little bit. But Pez is like the only, look, I am an old man when it comes to some candies. I left off my favorite candies, like orange slices, like Necco wafers, like root beer barrels.
You guys also left off Werther's Original. I know that is like viewed as an old man candy, but they are still a good candy.
However, Pez has to represent the old school candies. So it moved on, and now I think Smarties are the worst fucking candy on this entire board. I don't.
How in the fuck can you, in one sentence, say I like Necco wafers, and then the next fucking sentence say Smarties are garbage?
Or Pez.
They're different.
Not by much.
The problem is that Smarties don't have a lot of flavor in those little
Smarties
cups.
don't come with a cool toy, so
Necco wafers taste like fucking chalk.
Yeah, they are.
I don't like the
gross.
chalk taste of Necco wafers. I don't know what to tell you.
But
it's very much a nostalgia thing for the Necco wafers. Because I grew up when my grandma lived in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. One of the only like 4 stores in the town that she lived in was an old school soda fountain, and they had those old school candies. Necco wafers is what I would get. So there's a connection that exists there. Smarties were always just the last thing left in your Halloween candy.
Not my Halloween candy. I like Smarties.
You ever snort a Smartie?
Yeah, I was 12 once.
Dan's immediate, like, he just got slapped in the face, like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, like, you're going to snort a Smartie, but, like, when Pixie Sticks existed, that's what we did.
Some of us like to do a little work for our nose candy.
For your sugar high?
You get a cleaner cut when you do it yourself.
This shit hasn't been stepped on at all.
Now, if the boxes in front of me for Lifesavers, if it was only hard Lifesavers, I'm throwing that shit out the window. Like I don't want hard Lifesavers, but I do love those gummy Lifesavers, Scott. Going back to your original point,
I'll eat a hard Lifesaver happily. The wintergreen ones for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that is. I apologize. I would like to back up and say you're 100% correct on that. You are. I have a bag of the wintergreen Lifesavers in my car that I just carry with me.
I think it's pretty clear like Lifesavers is the one on top here, but I'm saying you don't have to be so fucking disrespectful to Smarties is all I'm saying.
I mean, I hear you. Smarties was like my mom's favorite candy when I was, a kid. It just was never like my go-to.
They're only slightly better than Pez.
Yet Pez moved on.
So Lifesavers?
I'm good with Lifesavers, yeah.
Yeah, I'm voting Lifesavers. It's a pretty easy choice.
All right. Next
we have Airheads versus Laffy Taffy.
2 of the chewy candies going head to head. Now,
Airheads aren't really oh, never mind.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, sorry. Got confused.
Here's the time for me to throw out my what is potentially going to be labeled as a quote-unquote wrong opinion. The only Laffy Taffy that is worth a damn is Banana Laffy Taffy.
Oh, you're fucking wrong. Dude, the watermelon Laffy Taffy is the jam.
You can have all the watermelon Laffy Taffy in the world that you want, as long as I get at least 3 banana Laffy Taffies.
Matt, you ignorant slut. You also need to enjoy the green apple ones. But outside of that, you are correct. Banana is by far the superior Laffy Taffy. Even to say green apple, I'm think you need to show it a little respect. But
It's just too sour for me, the green apple ones.
Okay, that's fair. You think mayonnaise is salty. I get it. I understand it. But you're right. The banana Laffy Taffy is a top tier candy. It's delicious.
It's
not
good.
It's not that hot of an opinion. I'm with you on that one. Dan can go suck what did he say? Watermelon? He can go suck a watermelon.
Now I do through a garden hose. I do think Airheads, they're ranked higher on this list, but I do think that Airheads kind of suck. Like I think they've gotten worse over time.
Mm-hmm. They've gotten a weird texture over the time.
Yeah. Like you take a bite out of it and then it's kind of like crumbly gritty. Or almost like gritty. Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't used to be like that. But did you all ever take the Airheads and like
stretch it out?
No, yeah, sit there and shake the packaging until it all condensed into a ball at the other end of where you were holding, and then open it up and you just have this ball.
I can see you actively blowing Matt's mind right now. He's never heard of this.
Not even a little bit. Why would you do that?
If you take the Airhead by one end of the package and you just shake the package back and forth like it's a Polaroid picture.
Yeah.
Once Andre 3000 tells you he's proud of you, you open it up and it's like a ball of Airhead at the bottom.
It all just condenses down into a big, delicious ball.
But why?
That's a great question. So anyway,
why would you do
physics?
That?
Oh, why would you do that?
No, he didn't ask how. He asked why.
Why would you do that? I mean, I have taken an Airhead out and then rolled it into a ball.
Yeah, it's just like that, but not getting your dirty hands all over it. Yeah.
Sometimes you like your hand.
No, I don't.
Taste.
I have at least a somewhat of an idea of where Dan's hands have been, and I don't think that's a good idea. I don't.
For the sake of tetanus or what?
Yeah, it's just not a good idea to accept candy from Dan. I think there's an important aspect to this debate that we have not yet discussed.
Okay.
And I want to make sure we don't overlook it. Laffy Taffy comes with jokes on every package.
You're not wrong.
What did the house wear to the party?
Drapes.
A dress. Ha, see? Yeah, exactly. You don't get that kind of enjoyment in your life without Laffy Taffy.
Laffy Taffies, are they the progenitor of dad jokes?
What do you call a pile of cats?
A meow.
A meowton. A meowton. Yeah.
I don't know. I do have a little bit of nostalgia for when they came out with the mystery Airheads.
The white Airhead was.
One.
Yeah.
Because then you were just like, oh, what's it going to be? And then come to find out it's just its own random ass flavor of random shit they put together.
I never once pinpointed a flavor. It was always just good.
That's valid. But a Laffy Taffy, it's got better texture. It's got better longevity. And man, that banana.
Dude, Laffy Taffies are Airheads are thin and little, but Laffy Taffies have substance. They're thick.
Yeah, they got curves
with 2 C's.
Yeah, you were talking about the stickiness to your tooth with Milk Duds, but man, Laffy Taffy's on a whole nother level. I feel like
that's one. Let's go back to the Milk Duds conversation. Laffy Taffies are one that I'll put in my mouth and let it kind of dissolve and disintegrate over
I do
time.
That with Airheads too, though. But you're right; it is a very different texture experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't seem to hate it the same way you guys do.
Yeah. Well, I don't hate it, but it has gotten worse over the years. It's not as good as it used to be.
It's not as smooth as it used to be.
Yeah.
I think if I have these 2 boxes in front of me on the counter, I think I'm more likely to grab an Airhead though. Even if it is banana Laffy Taffy, I think I'm more likely to grab an Airhead. I love the jokes, but I can read the joke and not have to eat the Laffy Taffy. I don't have to open it for that. I'm going to vote Airhead.
Matt, who are you voting for?
I mean, as much as I love the Brendan Fraser, Adam Sandler vehicle Airheads, I'm going to go with Laffy Taffy. And if you haven't watched that movie called Airheads, it is fucking tremendous. It's so good. I need to go back and watch that.
It's very good.
Laffy Taffy gets my vote.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I agree with Matt on a food take. Laffy Taffy gets my vote.
Shake your Laffy Taffy.
And I do things for a banana Laffy Taffy. You know what I mean?
No, but I'm interested in finding out.
As it just so happens, he has 6 banana Laffy Taffies.
I know what I'm putting in my pocket next time I come over.
On that note, let's get to our last matchup of the day. Jolly Ranchers versus the Sweet Tarts.
All right, I'm just going to throw this out here. I don't feel like this is a tough decision, and here's why. Jolly Ranchers as the hard candy are good. Jolly Ranchers as the gummy, S tier candy. That is so
gummy
good.
Jolly Ranchers?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, they have a gummy as well.
And they are ridiculously good.
I don't think I've ever had them. I might have to look this up. So here's actually what I was going to say is that similar to Laffy Taffies, I think there's one flavor of Jolly Rancher that I love, and then there's one flavor that I enjoy outside of that. Other than that, I don't really care about Jolly Ranchers. I'm a cinnamon candy guy. Give me a fire Jolly Rancher. I'll be sucking on that all day. You know what I mean? In fact, if you have a cross-country trip where you are driving and you need to stay awake, grab a couple of Fire Jolly Ranchers, put them in your mouth. It'll keep you up for a little while. Don't do it unsafely though. Still take breaks and shit. Sweet Tarts don't really do a whole lot for me, but if it's not for the Fire Jolly Rancher and then secondarily the Watermelon Jolly Rancher, I don't want a Jolly Rancher either. So
I'm just glad
by default.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, by default, I think I have to go Jolly Ranchers.
I'm just glad we got Matt saying, quote, I'll suck on that all day clean. So you can use that for future edits. You forgot, again, I think I'm noticing a trend here, maybe an aversion. You forgot the green apple Jolly Rancher.
Again, too sour. Even the watermelon one sometimes can be a little too sweet, like that sickly sweet in the back of your jaw.
Oh yeah, no, I get that for sure. I'm a sucker for green apple stuff, and the Jolly Rancher one, the Jolly Rancher green apple is as Dan put it, an S tier item. I feel like in my book. I don't remember the last time I saw or had a sweet tart. And for that matter, don't remember the last time I bought Jolly Ranchers either. I don't even know that I necessarily. Are those only like in big bags in the grocery store? They're not like up at the front counters because you don't fucking buy nickel candy anymore.
No, you can buy like little packets of gummy Jolly Ranchers.
Well, gummy, yeah, but I meant just regular.
I didn't know gummy Jolly Ranchers existed before this conversation.
I did.
So.
You need to go try those, dude. They are so good.
They'll change your life. But yeah, I mean, Jolly Rancher gummies are great. Green apple's great. Watermelon's good too.
Watermelon is my favorite.
I mean, I think watermelon is most people's favorite. Like, it feels like the most popular flavor, which is why I still put it up there. I still think it's important. But so that moves Jolly Ranchers on then?
Yeah, I'm going to say so.
Yeah, voting for the jolliest rancher.
Who would be the jolliest rancher?
Yeah, now you need to answer that question.
Like, would it be Skywalker Ranchers, or would it be like
It's Chuck Norris?
Yeah, it's got to be Chuck Norris.
Ranger? First of all, wildly different type of R word.
No, not Walker, not Cordell Walker. Chuck Norris.
Walker, Texas Ranger. Like, he's not a Texas Rancher.
I didn't say, but I'm not saying Walker. I'm not saying the character. I'm saying real life Chuck Norris. He lives on a ranch in Texas. He is a rancher.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, is he jolly though?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Stone
say
Cold's way jollier than he is, and he's a
Dude.
rancher.
Chuck Norris is the jolliest man alive because
I
he
don't
knows nothing on this planet can kill him.
I don't know. I've seen Stone Cold with his cats. He's a pretty jolly
Dude.
fellow.
Dude, there was a time Chuck Norris went with a tiger trainer into a tiger's cage, kneeled down and was petting the tiger, and the tiger started to growl. And the trainer goes, "All right, slowly step back." And the tiger did. He slowly got up, stepped back from Chuck Norris.
So that's our
thank you
first
for this. Sticking around through Dan's story. Round 1, part 1. Chocolate versus candy done. Join us again next week when we will finish round 1 completely. We'll figure out the next. We'll be talking chocolates and candy.
What was the indignation there, Dan? What was that
I'm
all
still
about?
mad about Gummy Bears versus Pez.
Oh, okay. All right. Continue.
Is there a matchup next week you anticipate being mad about as well, Dan?
No, it was Gummy Bears versus Pez.
Okay. Any matches you're looking forward to next week, Dan?
Yeah, I think Nerds versus Dum Dums is going to be a battle that I don't know if you guys will agree with me on, but I think there's a good conversation there. And I also feel like Almond Joy is a dark horse. We'll talk about that next week.
All right. As usual, we want to thank Aaron O'Donnell from Aaron O'Donnell Music on YouTube for the music here at the beginning of every episode. We also want to, more than anything, thank you. You, my dear listeners, are the sweetest part of our day. Join us again on the social medias, Facebook, Blue Sky,
That sounded
Snapchat,
so insincere.
Discord.
So incredibly manufactured.
Tell them how wrong they are about Pez over Gummy Bears.
Yeah, tell us all about it. You can join us on Twitch and yell us about us on Candy there. You can we're at Bracketology on all social medias. Twitch, we're Bracketology_Scott, Bracketology_Dan or _Matt. Dan's is still in development.
Dan's is set up, but he just spelled it wrong and has to wait a month to fix it.
That is correct. I am
the podcast. We've been doing a year. And he spelled it wrong. And now we're calling him out for it.
Anyway.
Is that an episode? I think that's it.
An episode.
All right. I hope I made your tongue happy. I'm Scott.
I'm still way sweeter than Dan. Matt.
And I'm a little salty. Co-host now, Dan.
Bye-bye.
All right, I know we said it with kind of like a sarcastic tone, but I went back and was listening to the beginning of the WWE Legendarius Champion finale. And so I've come with our WrestleMania prediction results.
Ooh.
I said we said we would revisit them with a somewhat sarcastic tone because it's not really our strong suit to remember these things. But I did it. So here we go. To kick off the predictions, the very first thing that was said was that Dan predicted Jerry Lawler would win the heavyweight championship. I hate to say no points for that one.
I was close.
Sorry, buddy.
Tag team match. Matt and I both agreed New Day would win. We did get points for that. We were correct. Dan predicted the Dudley brothers would interfere. Again, difficult since that's not a thing. It's the Dudley boys. But again, we appreciate where your head was at. Matt, you and I also predicted Big E would be involved, and we were wrong about that.
I was disappointed while it was happening that he wasn't involved, to be fair.
Sure. Yeah. It should be noted that Dan did predict basically interference for every single match, by the way. And going back and listening to it, there was a running theme for him.
There were we were two things in before he just gave up on predicting anything for the match.
We said Ray versus Americano, which of course got switched to Phoenix instead of Mysterio. We were both correct with Americano. Dan again predicted that Sergeant Slaughter would come out dressed as an ICE agent and tried to deport them. We then ran with that ball and said that they would try to deport both Mysterio and Americano, but that's when Chad Gable would reveal himself as Americano. That unfortunately did not come true either.
Yeah, the most surprising part about that is the lack of Slaughter, you know?
Yeah. We both picked Jade versus Naomi. We were right there. Dan, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say there was no hologram of China involved in that match. No points for that one. This is where we had our first disagreement. Matt, you selected Jacob Fatu over LA Knight, and in doing so, you were correct. I did not get that one right. Dan, I did see Hacksaw Jim Duggan in I think it was a Slim Jim commercial.
Yeah.
He was in a Slim Jim commercial during the course of WrestleMania, but he did not interfere in the match. I'm still tempted to give you a half point for that one.
I think that's half a point worthy.
Yeah.
I absolutely think that's half point worthy.
Yeah.
It could have interfered, like that commercial could have gotten stuck in somebody's head.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was a commercial that LA Knight was in.
Oh, there you go.
It counts, I think. We had interaction between two of the wrestlers involved in that prediction. So half a point. Good job. We said Stratton versus Flair. Matt, you picked Stratton. I never made an official prediction. It sounded like I only just kind of said, I hope you're right. So 3/4 of a point for that one, I guess. It was not a bikini match, Dan. No points.
Wait, Stephanie McMahon, the judge?
She was
referee?
she was also not the referee. So no points for that one, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Gunther versus Jay. You, Matt, said Gunther. This is where again we differentiated. I went with Jey Uso, so we are once again tied. Dan, Hulk Hogan was nowhere fucking near WrestleMania. He wasn't even allowed in the city of Las Vegas, I think. That's not true. I think he did do like some kind of fan access event or something.
Yeah.
But he definitely did not leg drop the Austrian Hitler, as Matt so delicately put it. Triple threat. Matt wanted Rollins, Matt wanted Rollins, but thought it would be Punk. I correctly predicted it would be Rollins. Thankfully, Big Papa Pump did not die under the heart attack underneath the ring.
That we know of.
It still hasn't come out.
That might not have come out because the WWE is so embarrassed by it that they're trying to sweep it under the proverbial rug or ring.
Yes, of all the things for WWE to be embarrassed by and sweep under the rug, that is the one they picked. Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. We both picked McIntyre. I'm not going to lie. I don't even remember who won that one.
McIntyre.
Hey, we were right. Reba McIntyre did not get involved.
Damn it.
The Fatal 4. There's so many of these. I'm tired of listening to my own voice read them. We were both right. AJ Paul would win. We were both wrong that Liv Morgan would retain the tag titles. Matt, bonus points for you because you correctly predicted not only that Dom Mysterio would win, but that he would specifically pin Finn Balor. So bonus point for you there.
I'm that good, you know.
But then you also
don't have any insights.
Went and picked Cody versus Cena, which was just absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, that was definitely.
Speaking.
And then, of all things, Dan said that The Rock would interfere, and we told him that was a solid prediction, and then it fucking didn't happen.
Yeah, no. While I was editing it, I was like, "Man, we were so way off base."
Yeah.
What about the spectral visit?
We're not going down that path again, Dan. I looked ahead and remembered that was part of the conversation, and I specifically decided to skip it. You monster.
So hold on. If we're keeping tally of the points, I have a half a point.
Yes, if we kept tally of the points, you would have 1/2 of a point.
And we're going off golf rules, right?
If it makes you feel better, sure. Technically speaking, I do believe Matt actually wins, primarily because he picked Io Sky to retain in the women's triple threat match, and he was correct. Surprised the hell out of me. But we went, that's the one where we really differed. I'm not really counting the Cody versus Cena one because I know that you knew Cena was going to win. So
Yeah, I just didn't want him to. It was really so. I was trying to. It was the secret, but wrestling version, wrestling edition.
the most disappointing finish to a WrestleMania ever.
Well, now that wrestling season is over,
I mean, a new season technically has started.
It never ends in my heart, buddy. Never ends in my heart.
All right. Well, if you did better than us, get in the comments.
Yeah. Let us know if your WrestleMania predictions came true.
If you don't care, but you really just want to give shit to Dan and Scott for being stupid fanboys, shout out to Jay Dunk in the Discord for giving shit today. You can do that too. Get in the comments there.
Join the conversation in our Discord and social medias.
add discourse to the Discord.
On that note, y'all ready to get to the show or what?